Pugh. That'll do it! That will do it! Pugh for Bournemouth! The roof of the Gold Sands is raised! Everyone here knows what that could mean to this football.
Good morning. It's Saturday and my name's Sam.
And I'm Mr. Tigz.
And welcome to Matchday Breakfast. It's a match day. We're so excited. How are you, Tigz?
Yeah, I'm really good, mate. I'm really good. Yeah, I've polished off my breakfast already this morning. I don't know if you have. Have you had a little tasty sausage yet or not?
You know what? I didn't have a sausage. I had a cheeky hazelnut croissant and a standard croissant. I decided to mix it up, and I've been vlogging from the very start today, so people are going to see some behind-the-scenes stuff. But as a matchday breakfast show, a breakfast show on YouTube, Tigz, I feel as though we should have had a special tune ready or something. You know, I mean, I don't know, something like. Oh, mate, that brings back some memories, doesn't it? Hey, do you remember the big breakfast? But, you know, alas, this isn't the big breakfast. This is the matchday breakfast with myself and Mr. Tigz, where we are looking forward to the big game today, which is Bournemouth versus Luton Town. Hashtag teams like Luton, Tigz.
Yeah, hashtag teams like Luton. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Yeah, an interesting hashtag to look up. If you do get a chance while we're doing the show today, please do check that one out. It does sort of stem back to a comment that was made on our channel, Sam, doesn't it?
Oh my God. I think, you know what? I think we're going to have to have a look at that video a bit later on in the show. Who's here then? Rob, good morning. Hello, everyone. Chris is here as well. We've got Mike Owen. Now, this is dedication, right, Tigz? Talk us through what he's doing.
Well, Mike, if you don't know, he's not nearby. He's not a native cherry around here. He's actually in Austin, Texas. And he said here, he's had to get up early here, been encouraged by the wife, don't wake the toddler at 3 a.m. so he can get us some pictures of his breakfast, which is a wonderful commitment. If you didn't see it earlier, we put out a tweet asking for pictures of your breakfast for our breakfast show today. So if, like Mike, you'd like to do that, we'd love to have a little look at them, have a little chat about them. It's all good fun, isn't it? Send in yours as well, or you can tweet them to us.
Yeah, really interested to see that. And we've had one from Layla already that's been sent in. Hi to Layla and Logan, if you're watching. And it was some kind of porridgey with oats thing, but it looked like she was having some kind of carbonara. It was filmed in the dark. Not sure about that one. We got the vlogger here. Yes, you can certainly be part of the show. All you need to do is go to the pinned comment on YouTube. It's afcbpodcast.com/breakfast. /take part also works as well. So you're very welcome to get involved. Harvey's here. Ben's here. Hope you're doing well. We got Kane here. Good morning. Cameron. Oh, look at this. We've got the crew here. Thomas is here as well. Paul, Kevin, Sammy Nell. Looking forward to seeing you at the game. Well done on getting your ticket. Rob, as I said, too many to mention. We've got Daisy here. We have also got John Spark as well. We got Koa from Vietnam. Steve Hensman. Why do you always have to lower the tone? Although Tigz did. Jake Spicer as well. Good morning to everyone. Now, you think we're early birds? Well, we're not really. It's 9:30. Tom Jordan, he's been an early bird already. And if you missed it earlier, he was chatting to Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino on TalkSport, telling them about how he thinks the Cherries are going to do this season, and specifically referencing Dom Solanki, who has passed his 100 appearance mark for the Cherries.
Hello, you okay?
Hey, Tom.
Very, very well.
Tom, undefeated away from home in the Championship, which has been great for a start. You know, some good victories. You've had Solanki getting goals again this season. Gary Cahill's come into the team. 3 games, 1 goal against, has only played 3 games. So, you know, it feels like Bournemouth are in a really good place.
Yeah, definitely, Tony. Yeah, I can't agree more. Scott's got a really good blend there, where we've kind of promoted a lot of young players. At the start of the season, we had kind of quite a thin squad, really, with a few injuries, but promoted the youth, and they're hungry, as you can imagine. And then adding true signings like Gary Cahill, like you mentioned, he's he's been like a Rolls Royce at this level. He's different class, and it's no coincidence that the results have panned out that way since he's come into the team. And like you say, Dom Solanki scoring goals. So at the moment, all the things you want to go your way are at the moment. So, we know it's twists and turns of the Championship, but it's been a promising start, definitely.
Are you amazed by Dominic Solanki? Because when he was at Liverpool, he looked like he couldn't buy a goal. You took him and he struggled at first for you, but then last season got a good number of goals and has done the same this season.
Yeah, he is a weird one. He kind of divides opinion a lot of the time because he's a centre forward who works his socks off and, he gives his all, but sometimes you just feel like, is he going to be the man to get 20 plus goals a season? And a lot of the time he's played kind of just off a striker and things like that. But at the moment it looks like, he knows he's the main man this season. Obviously last season we had Josh King was around for a little bit as well. This season there's no doubt about it, he's the main man. He seems to be relishing from that. And we've got players like Brooksy and that who can provide him as well. David Brooks, Ryan Christie's come in. So he's got the players in and around him that he needs, and the confidence there. You know what it's like as a striker. It's confidence, and he's got that at the moment.
Tell us then about Bournemouth under Scott Parker, how different it may well be for those that haven't seen Bournemouth this season. Let's think about last season. It was a bit of despite the fact actually you reached the playoffs, it was a bit of a turmoil with Jason Tindall starting the season. That didn't quite work out. Then Jonathan Woodgate took over. Now it's Scott Parker who's in charge. Is there much of a difference that we're seeing in Bournemouth?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's certainly, from a fan's perspective, more enjoyable to watch. There's a clear indication of how you want to play. There's a high press. We press teams very high up the pitch. And Scott Parker seems like, I think what fans like is it's a long-term vision. Scott's come in. He's a hungry young manager who wants to do well. And the players seem to be buying into that. But he's got a clear plan. And he seems to be, him and the players, it seems to be a bit more of a togetherness. It seems to be a bit all over the place last season. I think it probably always was going to go that way after having Eddie Howe for so long. I think the transition was always going to be quite difficult. And it feels like we've just settled down again now and Scott Parker's come in. And like I say, it's that long-term plan that I think everyone seems to be buying into so far. So, long may it continue. It's good times at the moment.
There you go. So that was Tom Jordan on Talk Sport earlier on today. So what's the format of this show? It's the same as usual, really. Parker's Presser. We're going to have a free-for-all format. We're also going to go through your predictions, your chosen 11. And then, hopefully it's going to be all smiles. First person that we're going to bring in today is Mr. Ben Phillips, who's with us. Ben, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Last season, we were expected to roll teams like Luton over. We didn't. We only got 1 point. I think it was 0-0 at their place. And then we got turned over back at Dean Court. But do you feel as though the vibe's a bit different this season?
Yes, I do. I think last season we did well against the better sides, and against, I would say, the bottom 10, we hardly won against them. But I think this season we're playing a lot better. I think the players are getting on better. I think Scott Parker's a better manager than Woodgate and Tindall. I think that at the moment we're on a good run of form, 3 wins in a row, and Luton, they've drawn 4 in a row, so they're not doing great. But I think at the moment it's looking promising, and the way we're playing as well, it's convincing.
Yeah, it is convincing. Aside from the Hull game and the Blackpool game, which, we should have killed off Blackpool, Hull, I just think it was never going to happen for us in that game. But the last 2 matches, ironically, we'd have probably taken out of those 4 games, we'd have probably loved to have had 8 points, but we would have expected it to be the other way round. So against Luton today, do you know much about them, Tigz?
Yeah, a little bit. I know at the moment they've got some pretty big injury problems. So the managers said that they're essentially injury ravaged, he said, which sounds quite extreme, but looking at it, no, they really are, which could well work in our favour. Although that said, when we had lots of injuries, boy, did it work for us. How helpful was that to kind of galvanise the squad and let players like Zamora and Anthony get a chance? So who knows? We've had to make some pretty quick signings as well. They made a signing quite recently, a guy called Elliot Thorpe, who actually turned down a new contract at Tottenham. Never played for Tottenham, but been on their books for quite a while. And they've managed to keep hold or get him off of Tottenham. So that's quite a statement, I think. They made 9 signings already, Sam, or since the start of the season. So I don't think they'll probably get any more in January, but you never know. if you look at their last few games, they're really, really interesting. I mean, I think we're in for an absolute cracker today. You go back to their Blackburn game, they were 2-0 down, and they came back and they got the equaliser to make it 2-2 with the 8th minute of extra time.
Wow.
90 plus 8. Then the game after that, they were against Bristol City. And again, there was a 90th minute goal. But they were the better team. They missed the chances in the game, and they should have won that game. And then they played Swansea last game. They were a 3-0 up.
Yeah.
3-0 up. And Swans brought it back to make it 3-3 in the end. So, yes, we've got a team here that can concede, but boy, they can score goals as well. Yeah, this is exactly the sort of team that we were just talking about. You know, last time they're dogged. They're going to keep running at us. They're going to keep trying. It's just whether we can outlast them or not, I think.
Really interesting. All right then, Ben. Before you go, what's your prediction for today?
I'm going to say 2-0. I feel good. I think Luton. Yeah, we're better than them, and I think a lot of people will know that. It's just about whether we turn up on the day. But I think this season so far has gone very well, and we know that obviously West Brom won yesterday without playing too great against QPR. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping for us to win. But to be fair, I don't really care what the score is as long as we win. Then yeah it's all good.
Fair play. 2-0 Ben's going for. We'll get your predictions later on. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Cheers. We got Daniel from Florida. Now, hang on a second. If I now Google what's the time in Florida, I think it's going to be very early. Daniel might be able to tell us. Hi, Daniel. How are you doing, buddy?
Good.
Mate, what time is it there?
4:42.
Mate, did you wake up for Back of the Net?
Yeah, I went to sleep early.
Oh, man. He is dedicated. Daniel.
That's incredible, Daniel. Incredible.
Thank you so much.
Tom Jordan would go back to bed after this. You going back to bed after this, or are you pushing through?
No, I'm going to wait for the game and then have a haircut.
And have a haircut, mate. Yeah, like in chat, can everyone give an emoji, any emoji, for how good Daniel from Florida is for doing that? And we'll put them all on screen. That is absolute dedication. Daniel, how do you see it going today against Luton?
I feel like we shouldn't lose this because I feel like we have a lot of backup. If like Dom does something bad, we put Low on or we put 2 up top. Pearson, to me, he's very good at holding. If we're winning like 2-0, put Pearson on. If Jaden Anthony's struggling, I can say put Low on again. There's just so many things we can do to make sure we win this because we have 5 subs and I feel like we can use it and we can get an early goal like we have been doing and win it.
Absolutely agree there. It's a strange one, Tigz, because they go 3-0 up and then they rest on their laurels a little bit. But when they're in the mud and they're chasing games, then, you know, they put it on. It's a bit of a weird one, really, isn't it? In some ways, like a 2-0, as Ben said, is probably about right, because 2-0 maybe is not enough of a scoreline for them to push, you know, like they did. I don't know. It is a bit of a funny one. And, you know, they have got a number of injuries as it is. And if you speak to a lot of their fans, not many of them are confident about this one. And it's amazing through what I hear in the media on loads of different fan channels and on the radio. So many people, Tigz, they actually think that this season we are the real deal, which it's a bit hard to come to terms with myself. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, we can't really complain about what Parker's doing. So you can understand from an outside perspective why everyone thinks it is. We're just still kind of waiting for that blip, aren't we? Because when we hit a blip, traditionally and historically, we hit a blip for a little while. So it's just whether we can ride that wave. It will happen at some point. Interesting, you talk about resting on your laurels, you know, and you talked about this about the other day. You're talking about the Blackpool game and how we did it then. And I think that's the worry I've got. I agree with Ben. I think 2-0 would be enough, but not against Luton. I genuinely believe that if you're 2-0 up against Luton, I still think they would come at us. And if we don't put every chance away, we're going to have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it could be. Right, Daniel, before we let you go, what's your prediction for today, buddy?
I don't know, but I feel like we can draw this, but I'm going to keep it positive.
Yes.
I agree with Ben. I think we will score an early goal and because our defense is like the best in the championship, so we're not going to let them score. And Mark Travis is too good, too good. So I'd say 2-0.
That's what I like to hear. Daniel, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Daniel from Florida at 4:45 a.m. And if you've just joined us and you're wondering what all those emojis were about, those were people giving their praise for Daniel for waking up at such an ungodly hour to appear on the show. Right. I think it's time probably to find out what Scott Parker said in his presser, right? So, Tigz, have you got any idea on the injury lowdown at the moment? I mean, Junior Stanislas is getting nearer. Lewis Cook starting to play football. It sounds a little bit more positive for those two.
It sounds really positive, and it's a really odd. I don't know if I've ever been in this place before in my head where I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, we've got these two great players coming back." Okay, because we're doing well and we've got so much depth. It's such an odd scenario to be in. Usually we'd be like, oh, we need Lewis Cook back, we need Junior Stanislas back. It doesn't feel like we do, and that's no disrespect to them at all. I mean, I'm sure when they come in they'll be well in the mix and they'll be pushing for a place, but yeah, it's a really odd scenario to be in that Scott's been able to give us such positive news when the season started in such a negative way in terms of the players that we had available to us, and we were kind of like scratching around trying to work out who's going to go on our bench. And now we've got players, excellent players who could do a job at a Premier League team, sitting not even on our bench, but up in the stands watching the game. So yeah, there's everything to be positive for. I don't know how he picks who's going to play. Really, it's a really tricky situation. How does he keep everyone happy now?
Agreed. So yeah, Scott Parker said that Junior's back in training, albeit modified. I think a lot of people are suggesting that means light training. And Lewis Cook will get some minutes for the under-23s. He went on to say that the next milestone is him training with us fully. He also said that Jefferson Lerma and Ben Pearson picked up knocks after the Cardiff game and needed extra time to recover, but thankfully they will be fine for Saturday, which is all what we want to hear. He went on to talk about the upward spike that midfielder Philip Billing is currently on, and he insisted, though, that he needs to be engaged in the game constantly. He said, I came across Phil the first time when I was playing against him. I was on the bench for Fulham. He was playing for Huddersfield. I just remember looking at someone who, in every facet of the game that day, he had everything. Physical and technical. Since then, I've been around him, and it's an area of his game that I feel like he needs to be engaged in the game constantly. So people like Philip Billing, Tigz, they can't really afford to take their eye off the ball, especially as like a certain Marcondes could come, straight back in if he has a bit of a bad run, eh?
Oh yeah, I mean we are stacked there, aren't we? Marcondes could play there. Stanislas, when he gets fit, could play there. Brooks could play there. Christie could play there. So yeah, I think he really needs to stay at the top of his game. Interesting, Tom Jordan this morning talking about, if anyone gets to catch it, the rest of that TalkSport talks a little bit about Marcondes and how he started such a great start to the season, but hasn't had the opportunities because Phil Bill has been such good form. One slip from Phil means that Marcondes would have to get a chance. I think Parker needs to do that. So yeah, it's good because it means that I think we're seeing a more consistent Philip Billing, albeit, as Parker, I think, is trying to allude to, he does go missing for parts of the game. But as you said before, Sam, he's a luxury player in many ways, but a really bloody good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's really interesting to get a Luton take on things. So that's exactly what we're going to get now. So Lewis Williams is an excellent Luton YouTuber. Check out his channel. We will pop the link in the description below. He talks a little bit about Bournemouth in this 3-minute clip, but firstly, he does allude to that 3-0 capitulation that went to 3-all when they played Swansea earlier in the week. And it's fair to say he wasn't that happy.
And let's be honest, Luton should have won that. I can't believe we bottled a 3-0 lead. I don't think I've ever seen that as a Luton fan ever before. Lucky I wasn't at the game because I probably would have been very angry with that, the way we performed in the second half. First half, I don't think anything was wrong with the way we performed in the first half. All 3 goals were very good. We put the pressure on Swansea. We did everything which we needed to do. But then in the second half, we just invited pressure. And you can't do that. It doesn't matter what level you play at. If you give a team so much freedom in the second half to go and, exploit your, defence, and you don't protect the back four, goals are going to come. It doesn't matter. You can defend all you want, We can't do that against Bournemouth. We just can't. Swansea and Bournemouth are 2 completely different teams, Bournemouth, for me, I think will get promotion this season. I think under Scott Parker, I think he will get them playing the correct way. I do like Scott Parker. I do think he's a good upcoming manager who's going to have a really good career as a manager. Obviously, he had a good career as a player. But, I think what he did at Fulham was good. I just don't think the right structure was put in place at Fulham for him to do really well. I think if he, he's one of those, Fulham are one of those teams, in my opinion, that they get promotion, relegation. There's no stability. There's no let's build type of thing. Whereas I think with Bournemouth, if he does get Bournemouth promoted, I do think he could build on from there and stay many more years in the Premier League. I think that's more likely going to happen at Bournemouth than at Fulham compared. So, yeah, I think Bournemouth this season, I think they have everything. Defence, when you've got someone like Gary Cahill at the back, someone who's played in the Premier League for so many years, when you've got that experience, that quality there, straight away your defence is going to be better. There's no doubt about it. You've got Bournemouth have got one of the best defensive midfielders in the league for me with Ben Pearson. He's absolutely amazing when he's actually thinking straight and he doesn't have that discipline. And then up top, you've got Solanki who can score goals for fun. They've got pretty much everything. They can score goals, they can keep clean sheets, the midfield's there. They've got everything about them to be a very good side, and they could even challenge for the title. But I do reckon they're just going to go up, Bournemouth.
Well, there you go. That's the excellent Lewis Williams. Do check out his YouTube channel, because it's really great to see what other fans are thinking from an away fan perspective. And if you are a Luton fan, and you may be on your way down or just about to leave, well, you probably should have left by now, maybe. Yeah, you probably should have. If you're watching this or you're listening to this in the car, do check out our Away Day Fans Guide on YouTube as well, because what that does will tell you whereabouts to go, where to park, how to get there, where to eat, where to drink, whether you're catching the train, whether you're driving. So hope that will be of help to you. Right then, I think it's time to bring on another guest, isn't it, Tigz?
Yeah, someone who can maybe help us with, who's going to play today or something like that would be good.
Okay, we'll do him next. But first, Robert from Latvia. We'll bring in Robert from
Robert was
Latvia.
here. Oh,
yeah, he's here. Of course he is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Happy Saturday. Happy match day. How are you, mate?
I am really good. I really want to see us win today. Really, really. We are looking really, really nice. Like everybody in the championship are saying, even in the Prem, they're saying Bournemouth are going up. And I love it. Like, that is the best thing. When literally like a Liverpool fan is saying, or like a Chelsea fan or Manchester United fan is saying, oh yeah, Bournemouth is coming. They are getting promoted 100%. I love that feeling, because, if we get in like the second or the first place, it is like, I'm going to be just, I don't know, like, I'm probably gonna, I don't know if there probably people in Latvia, they will think, what is even Bournemouth? So, it will be kind of weird if I go around in a street with like a Bournemouth kid and like a badge of Bournemouth, like going around the city, and they will be like, what's Bournemouth?
It puts a lot of pressure on us, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Knowing that everyone expects us to get promoted, Robert. What's your prediction for today, though, mate? We'll cut to the chase because there's people waiting to get on. Mm-hmm. We're going to win it, right?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Scoreline?
2-1. Oh.
2-1.
I'm kind of scared of Luton because they are in like the 16th or 14th place, yeah? But it's not like they have scored only 7 or 6 goals. They have scored around like 12 goals. So they can actually surprise us like Blackpool did. We have to be careful.
We have to be careful. Robert, thank you very much. Enjoy the game, and fingers crossed you'll see smiles on our faces later on. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. However you're getting to the game today, Tigz, you're doing your public transport, aren't you? Because you want to save your petrol just for getting to work next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bus cherry. I'm going to be a bus cherry today.
You're going to be a bus cherry.
Yeah, I'm.
Pick those words well.
Yeah, because I'm
for a
low on
morning
petrol
show.
and I need to get to work Monday. Otherwise, they might be watching this, so I need to get to work Monday. So I'm going to have to find alternative route of transport.
Are you saying you did? Are you saying you didn't panic yesterday?
I didn't panic yesterday. No, I didn't panic yesterday. I'll panic Monday morning with the rest of us.
Yeah. Great to see lots of people on chat. Good morning, everyone. Charlie, Daniel. Yes, we're certainly going to the game. Ethan, same place, mate. Outside the 1910. Steve Hensman, Tigz, you amateur. Thomas is here as well. Daniel was excited to see Robert on screen. Heather's here as well. And look, earlier in the show and on Twitter, we asked to see your breakfasts this morning. We're trying to get this breakfast theme thing going. And in a minute, we'll see what people have submitted. And there are some car crashes of some breakfast, but then there are some good ones as well. I feel as though we need a bit of energy before we go and pick the teams, because that takes some tactical thought and a bit of composure. For energy, who can I put on screen?
I can feel it. It's electric. It's Marky
There
Masters.
he is. Marky, how are you?
Hello, chaps. We all good. Hello, everybody. I'm so hot. Yeah, look, I've been running.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what the garages are like in Poole. You ready?
Yeah, go on. Tell us.
I went for did me little 10K, everyone, and it's not this. Whatever you can do, it's not the morning. Tesco's Fleets Bridge. It's a bun fight out there. Everybody, stay blimmin' safe. It can all wait. But get your barrel bikes. Get the barrel bikes into the house. But I've had me breakfast. I enjoyed this, but yes, I'm sitting here with nothing on because I'm.
Oh, Marky, I've lost you.
Marky.
That was.
It makes me feel like a kid again. We haven't had me breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, your internet nearly died on us, but you're still there, Mark. You're still there. We think. Hang on a sec. We'll give you a second to get that back. Oh,
I love that.
Time.
I love that.
Let's bring in this man, shall we? Hello, buddy.
Yeah, morning breakfast show, mixing it up a bit. Like it.
What morning breakfast show? And not because I was absolutely shattered yesterday whatsoever. But anyway, how are you, Kirky?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Game day, can't complain. Back at home.
Are you excited?
Yeah. Hopefully the championship doesn't bite back like it sometimes does. But it's a good moment for the Cherries at the moment, and everything is very positive.
What are you expecting to see, but personnel wise today? Because this is going to be quite an interesting team selection today, I think.
I don't expect much to change, really. I think after the international break, with the squad that he built after transfer deadline day, you could probably see changes week in, week out. I think the team's been so good since Barnsley, and we've had that sort of consistency and experience at the back that, and going forward, we've been scoring goals. I mean, at home, we score at least 2 goals every game, that he's felt like he's not had to change much. And the last fixture was a tactical change, which was absolutely right to bring Ben Pearson in. And as much as Ben Pearson was brilliant last Saturday, and I love Ben Pearson, I think he comes out today, because I think Lerma is the favourite when you're thinking about one or the other. And I think Brooksy comes back in and Christie tucks inside alongside Billing. And I think it's the one change.
And we spoke about this before, Kirk, but Gary Cahill, we weren't expecting him to sort of almost play every other game. But the way we've been playing and the solidity that we've had, I mean, the only goal that we've conceded was from a deflected shot against QPR when we were 2-0 up. But we've been looking so strong because the organisation is there at the back, and he's winning every ball. I think there was a stat that went round on Twitter only the other day showing how good he was. I can't even remember what the details were, but you just can't not play him at the moment.
And I think I got this 50% wrong, because I was 50-50 split when he came in. But he was fantastic. I think he was only brought in for Barnsley only, but he was so good against Barnsley that the Parker couldn't drop him against QPR. And I feel sorry for Mepham, because he's genuinely done nothing wrong. And if you think about the last game Mepham played against Hull, he was brilliant. But Cahill brings an experience. We worried whether he could deal with the championship, although he's dealt with levels way above it. The Championship is another beast, but he's come in and been. I was really surprised actually being in the North Stand in that game against Barnsley, how well he commanded that back four. He talked to Smith a lot. He was vocal, and as I said to you previously, Sam, if you hadn't seen the armband on Kelly, I would have thought that Cahill was captain.
Absolutely.
And what I like about Cahill, and I'll refer it to Rio Ferdinand, who was a really, really good defender in his day for England and obviously Manchester United, is Rio Ferdinand very rarely had to make a slide tackle and very rarely got booked. And that's because a quality, exceptional defender reads the game very well. And I think Cahill does that, and he intercepts more than having to get himself out of danger.
I was going to ask her, I mean, it's quite interesting. I look at Luton, and somebody who really sticks out as a threat for me is their striker up front, Adebayo. They signed him last season, the January transfer window. I think he got 5 goals last season.
Hang on a sec. Did you have some issues pronouncing that? Because you might want to chat to Chris Temple or Tom Latcham that have been having a bit of a ding dong about that.
As long as they don't call him Adebayo.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This season, he's already scored 3 in 7 games, which is quite impressive. Albeit, those games have been quite fraught and frenetic. I don't know if we're going to get that today. I think we will actually. But what do you think? I mean, Cahill, do you think he'll be? Well, he doesn't tend to mark people, but he'll be able to keep him out. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of their talents. When I spoke to an opposition view, a Luton fan, they're really excited by him. He scored against Swansea last week. Like you said, he's got 3 goals. He looks a very good talent. I suppose the only concern I have is we have had slow starts of recent. So maybe they'll look to that to try and hit us early and get an early goal. But then again, I probably expect them to try and put on a low block and maybe hit us on the counter a few times. I expect us to dominate the game. Remember as well, Harry Cornick, who, is local to Bournemouth, will always fancy this fixture. He's had a good start to the season as well, I think, and been very proactive. So, they have got players in there, like you've spoken this morning about on the breakfast show, is that, they've scored goals. Yes, they've given away goals, but we've been very solid. But they do concede, I think, a lot of goals in the first half. I think there's about 4 games this season they've conceded 2 in the first half. And we've obviously scored 2 at home, as I said, at least every game at home.
I've got to say, my ventriloquism knows no bounds, given the fact that I can actually not move my mouth but still be heard. So whilst I sort my camera out, I'm going to bring Marky Masters in again, and you can have a chin wag until the Saturday morning gremlins sort themselves out. So here's Marky Masters for you.
Where is he? There he is. He's back.
I'm in. I've got whilst Sam's lagging.
Yeah.
Hello, Kirk. Morning, Kirk. You all right?
How you doing, Mark? Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm good. I just want to pick up on you were just saying there, where I was sitting watching the Barnsley game and just seeing Cahill, the way he was talking, and his little moments, he picked up Adam Smith, pushed him away and stuff. We haven't seen that in quite a long time. When you feel comfortable, where there is someone leading from the back that's marshalling everyone.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Marky. I think we kind of benefited from the team that got us promoted from the Championships to the Premier League before, almost having a natural understanding with one another. Slowly but surely, those pieces of the jigsaw puzzle have been pulled away, and we need somebody to be coming in and forging something new while we're playing a game, and not just on the training pitch. And I think you're right. I think it's been fantastic to see him shouting and hollering and just the way he picks up space.
Who would you say last did that? When you're seeing somebody that. Because you don't really get Steve Cook. Because I was trying to think, like, who was there where you sit in the stands and you know that someone's got it. Someone's got the whole back line organised. Does it go back to Tommy Elphick? I don't know. I was trying to realise. I hadn't seen it in a long time. That's why.
That always comes to my mind is Tommy Elphick.
Yeah.
Because he was an absolute legend. I did fear for Tommy when he went in the Prem and whether he could deal with it. But I mean, in that Championship season, he was one of the unsung heroes, although he was fantastic week in, week out. There was lots of good players in that season. But yeah, I think Tommy Elphick, Mark, just picking off of Cahill as well. I think every manager that's tried to come in since Eddie has tried to make Lloyd Kelly a centre-back. We know that Lloyd Kelly was better at left-back last season, but I've always stuck with the theory that his long-term probably position will be centre-back. He's taken the captaincy armband, but I think he's been even better in the last 3 than he was in the previous games. Do you think that also goes to Gary Cahill and giving him extra confidence?
it's given everyone that. It's certainly noticeable with what's happening. I guess, and the guys are at Cardiff as well. It's noticeable, and you kind of realise how that rubs off on everyone else. When you always think about those players that have made an impact of a certain age as well. When you look at the older players that come in as well that we've had over the years, like when we went out before, who was the left back we had? I've gone blank. Who was awesome on the left on the season we went up? The old Leeds player and everything else. Help me out. Who was that?
Ian Hart.
Yeah. Ian Hart. Yeah.
People like Ian Hart and it's the older people. Okay, Distan didn't have much of a look in, but there's that older head that kind of lifts the younger lads, is what you're saying there, Kirk, with what's happening with the likes of Kelly, which we'll probably see as the season progresses, how he comes on leaps and bounds from all that money that was spent a couple of seasons ago.
Fantastic. Kirk, we're going to rotate round. I need to bring Sam back in. He's just eaten his Weetabix. So hopefully now he should be working. Have you had your breakfast yet, Kirk?
Yeah, I had some boiled eggs on toast. So
beautiful.
Didn't put an image on Twitter, I'm afraid.
Next time we do this, buddy.
Nice.
Next time we do this. See you at the game later.
Score prediction.
Oh, go on. Yeah, go on. Yeah, go for it. 3-1. 3-1. Love a 3-1. Thank you, Kirk.
See you later. See you
later on.
Bye, Kirk. Have a good Saturday.
And we're bringing back. He's fully recharged, everyone.
I don't like being on this side, mate. I'm going to. There we go. So it's all good. You know what? I don't know what went wrong, but at least I can do ventriloquism as well, like I said. Yeah, you know what? Really interested to hear what you had to say, Marky, and hopefully meet up in the flesh soon. What was your prediction?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. By the way, my video looks all soft focus because I think I've had my phone in my pocket when I was running.
Oh yeah.
You've got me, guys, in this kind of steamy sauna viewing. So everybody watching, and enjoy it, everybody, because that's how we add variety to these morning shows. Score 3 blimmin' nil all over him, boys! Come on!
I love him.
Come on!
Well done, Marky.
Love it. What a guy. Marky Masters there. Follow him if you're not already at Marky Masters. A few other people agree. 3-0, says KJC. John's going to be here very, very shortly to choose the team. But from the madness of Marky to the tranquility of PK in the garden with Wi-Fi.
I am. Yeah. Who hasn't got Wi-Fi in the garden?
How are you doing, PK?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. How are you guys?
Yeah, really good, buddy. Do you know one thing we haven't discussed yet, Sam, is the hashtag. And, Paul and I, we went to games together a long time ago, and it's an interesting thing. It's a perspective thing. So I don't know if any of you have seen it on Twitter, that the hashtag that Luton fans have got, hashtag teams like Luton, which is because it's Luton, it makes it all the more interesting for me because of our shared history and the way that we've come up, or rather we kind of accelerated away. So what is a team like Luton? So for me, a team like Luton is a similar sized team to us who haven't had the benefit of somebody with a ton of money to help them get that last step and haven't had an Eddie Howe. But it's interesting that some of our fans who maybe started supporting a little bit later on maybe consider a team like Luton of a different size to us. I don't know. What do you both think?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna play how it started, right? So they've got this hashtag, and there was a show that we did, and I'm gonna play the clip for you now, and you can probably see on screen. It says, "We have our winner." They have a Teams Like Luton annual award, and the 2021 champion was AFCB podcast. And this is the clip that has riled a lot of Luton fans.
Now, what concerns me, if we want to be getting back up to the Premier League, we should be definitely winning games against Luton Town, who I don't even know where they are in the table, but I think probably near the bottom-ish.
It's not that bit. It's not that bit.
But we got to do so much better.
I think what's happening is that we're playing these lower teams, and this is different to when we was in the promotion year in the Championship. We are a recently relegated Premiership team with Premiership players, and these little teams are setting out their stalls as if they were playing a Premiership club, and they're putting loads of men behind the ball, and it's just frustrating us. Look how many times we got into their penalty area only to find half the team in there in the way. How many block shots did we have and what have you?
Pete North. These little teams. So thanks to that clip, and they have this annual tournament. We were the winners. Unbelievable. But Paul, I mean, we've always been the same size as Luton, really, haven't we?
Yes. Yes, I heard every bit of that. We've been always been about the same size as Luton. We're not a big club, even though we've been to the Premier League. We're still classed as a little club by lots of different teams now. All the big boys still call us little old Bournemouth, and I don't mind it, to be honest. I quite like the community aspect of our club. The fact that you can still get close to the players. Steve Cook will phone you up for a cup of tea, and it's amazing. The link we have with the players still after 5 years in the Premier League. A lot of clubs who've come down and then dropped like a stone through the divisions, and then you've had all the financial problems that they've had. We're quite lucky that Max has got deep pockets. Yes, we're lucky, but at the same time, I think we're fairly prudently run. A lot of our transfer dealings have been really, really positive. Getting 5 million for Surridge was a masterstroke. So I don't know how we managed that. Things like that, sometimes the backroom staff get slated. I'm busy. Sometimes the backroom staff get slated.
Yeah, no.
A lot of the time, actually, they're probably doing a really good job.
Yeah, and one area actually that I need to point this out, because I only found out this last night. I'm not a massive Luton fan by any means, but actually, how long have we been waiting for a new stadium? They've got one in the works right now. They're probably going to get it for 2024, which would then put us currently the smallest stadium in the top two divisions by a fair whack. So teams like Luton, who've got actually now got a bigger stadium coming up than we have, because we haven't been able to move on that aspect of our infrastructure. Yeah,
I'd say MK Dons are probably more a team like Luton in that sense. They've had a massive stadium for however many years. I remember going to an away match there where they didn't, they've got a top tier that didn't even have any seats. It was bizarre. You look at teams like Luton in that sense. Yeah, you've got teams that won't be able to fill their stadium. At least we have a full house every week, and it's I wouldn't want it any other way. I don't think I want a massive stadium. I think you get further away from the players and the pitch, and it just feels a little bit sort of stale.
Prediction for today, then, Paul.
I think 3-1. I think Harry Cornick's gonna nick a goal against us, because he's been playing really well recently. Actually, I've been watching him play with interest, because Tony and I work with his dad.
So, he'll be in a game, his dad, probably today as well.
He probably will be. Yeah, we saw him a couple of games ago. I'm sure he'll be there cheering on us and his son. Weirdly, hoping that we win. I should think. So I think
love you, Neil.
3-1. Yeah. If you're watching, Neil, we love you.
Love it. PK, thanks very much for coming on.
No problem. Cheers.
I understand that, Tigz, you may need to be off soonish. Is that right? Or
yeah, got to take the dog to the vet.
No.
Then I'll get on my bus.
Okay.
Not with the dog.
No problem at all. Okay, so we're going for predictions then. We're going to go through everyone's predictions in chat very shortly. But Tigz, let's do this, because we said we would, so we will. Here's our tweet. This is what we wrote this morning. Good morning. Our live show starts at 9:30. Without wanting to go a Heart FM DJ on you, because this is what they do. What are you up to today? What are you having for breakfast this morning? Take a pic. You text us. We're really intrigued. This was our animated GIF that we put on. First, let's see what Heather's got then. She's got a collagen shot and some porridge to keep me looking 20 years younger. If that's what it takes, that is what I will do. What's your rating out of 10 for that? I love the way she's named it as well, Heather, just in case.
Do you know what? I like the look of that tea. I'll be honest with you, Sam. I feel a little bit out of my depth here. I was expecting a sausage and some eggs. I don't know. This is not my ballpark. I had crumpets for breakfast this morning.
Oh, lovely.
So let's see what else we got. I'm going to skip on that one.
I mean, Layla, she says half-eaten raspberry and white chocolate baked oats, but it looks like last night's dinner, mate.
I like the idea of
Are those bacon bits?
I know. I think maybe I like the idea of the white chocolate. I'd really like to know if Layla gets her son to eat, if he eats the same thing or she eats something different. I mean, if she can get a healthy breakfast with a little bit of chocolate in there, then well done her. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by that. I'm going to give Layla a solid 8 for healthy eating, I think.
Brilliant. Okay, yeah. Layla, that's superb. I think there are a few others, but we are stretched for time. So unfortunately,
did we get any sausage picks, Sam, or not?
I haven't. I'll tell you what we did get, and this is someone having a joke. This is someone having a joke. It's got to be. What the hell? No, apparently there have been a few sausage picks going around on Twitter this week, but no, sadly none sent in to us today. So There we go. Tigz, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, buddy. Enjoy the game, everyone, today, and I'm going to go with a 3-2 to Bournemouth.
Brilliant. Okay, just a quick, nice one. Thanks very much, Tigz. Really appreciate it.
Hey, buddy.
Just a quick one then before John is coming in with the team. We've got the return of Craig, who is with us here as well. Craig Beasley, how you doing? Hopefully you can hear us okay.
Hello, Sam. I can't hear you at all.
You know what? I can't do sign language.
I can't hear you.
So, okay, mate, no worries. We'll have to do it another time. Really appreciate that. But that's Craig, the return of the Beasley. But anyway, if you want to come on the show for the next one, it'll probably be back to our usual routine. But for home matches, we're going to probably do this breakfast show just because it's something a little bit different. I think we now need to predict the team, right? And here's Sparksy. It's John. John, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Just enjoy my morning coffee.
Me too. Love it. But this one is a prop mug because this is one where the actual handle broke in the post. So it's just a prop, just to make it look very back of the netish around here. Anyway, how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Nice Saturday morning. I'm starting a new job on Monday, so I'm looking forward to a change of pace coming up next week.
Yeah, congratulations! I saw the tweet on that. That's excellent news. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about it, or is it top secret?
No, it's not that top secret, but I've been looking to get into more of an analyst role as per all the kinds of stuff that you put me on for XG and blah up here. Yeah. I took some time out of my last job because I was struggling a bit with my mental health and a few things at home, and took the time out, and now I've got myself the kind of almost dream job that I've been looking for to get into as an analyst. It's about 30 minutes walk from here as well, so gives me a nice commute as well.
That's absolutely superb to hear. And yeah, you know what, there have been a few issues that have been shown on Twitter this week with regards to people's mental health, and it's important to keep talking about it. Talking Cherries is a great outlet for that. Follow them on Twitter at Cherries Talking, but also we meet up before a game as well. So if you want to come and have a chat before a game at the 1910 bar, just by the James Hayter photo at the far end, then you're more than welcome, because I'm sure you'll see Tigz there from opening time at 12:30 or whenever it is. There's a good game on today, Chelsea v Man City, so that should be quite good. But anyway, John, I think it's probably time that we go through the team for today. And surely this is like as a person who's an analyst, you can't not get this wrong now.
Well, I'm not. If I was getting as a job as an analyst for Bournemouth, then I think I would absolutely agree with you. But let's not go too far on this. My record, unfortunately, has tended to get worse as the season has gone on with regards to predicting lineups. But I think this one, it's unlikely you're going to get anything more than one wrong with how we can predict how the lineup, considering the form that we're in at the moment.
Yeah, agreed. And there's been a few predictions of scorelines here that we'll just go through quickly before we do that, before John composes his thoughts about who's it going to be. Chris Hubble, as well as KJC, are going for a 3-0. Alfie and Rob are both going for 4-0s. 3-1s for both Liam and also Gladstone there. Steve's gone for a 4-1. Sammy Nell's gone for a 3-1. 5-0. 2-1 to Luton, said Ian. Interesting. We've got a 3-2 win to Simon Kay, which I kind of understand why he's doing that based on how Luton play. So he kind of makes sense. 2-0 to Bournemouth, says Mark. AFCB Germany's going for a 4-1 there. We've got a 2-0 here as well, another 2-0, and also a 4-0 as well. Superb stuff. Martin is going for a 5-0. Right then, in goal. Why are we doing this? But go on.
Yeah, I think quite a few of these we can go through relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Certainly, the back five I think is going to be exactly the same as the last game.
Yeah. So talk us through the back five then.
So as it was last week for all three wins, it was Smith on the right, Cahill at right centre back, Kelly at left centre back, and Zamora at left back. I do feel a little bit sorry, as Kurt mentioned, for Chris Mepham, because I really feel as though he's not really done anything wrong, and he's just, unfortunately, he's going to get stuck behind a Champions League winning centre back, and that's the way of things. And then Stacey, unlikely to play against his former side, of course, the Jack Stacey derby, this or the Harry Cornick derby as well, and a player that just for some reason Smith just seems to be the favoured choice, and I can see why in one regard. I think Stacey does more going forward for us, but I think Smith is just Mr. Reliable at this point. But it's going to be interesting today because I think Luton's sort of better players this season are more on the left-hand side as far as sort of like who scores ratings give them, which is not the best metric to look at times. But I don't think he's been put up under a lot of pressure this season, Smith. So this might be an interesting game to see how he does.
Morgan's here, and he wanted to turn up a bit earlier, but he turned up a bit late. But it's okay, Morgan. You're sorry for the fruit slightly getting in the way of your photo there at the bottom, but it's all good. You know what? I'll put you up there. How are you, Morgan? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Sorry for being a bit late. I went to bed quite late, and I was like the kid before Christmas. Exciting day ahead. Match day.
Yeah, exciting day ahead. I always love a match day. So, in between you guys, what are you thinking about the midfield three? Because John, it's hard to make changes, but some people suggest there may be a change today.
I would see one change today. I don't necessarily see the need to play Lerma and Pearson today. Now, Luton are one of the highest pressing teams in the Championship, actually. They're about level with us on PPDA numbers. So, we are going to be put under pressure, but then, Barnsley are meant to be a high pressing side, and we absolutely passed the ball around them like it was a Sunday league game against a professional team, the way that we played. And then West Brom, we struggled, but we were able to, make it work. So I think I'll see Lerma playing in the number 6 role, and then Christie sliding in to right centre attack midfield, alongside Billing, the undroppable, unstoppable Philip Billing. And that would mean Brooks coming back in to take his place at right wing. And, now he's got some pressure because Ryan Christie really could take that spot from him. So Brooks, I really want to see turn up today and add to his goal and assist tally.
And it's funny, look, Tom Jordan, now the way this is done, like the YouTube comments come through a little bit later than, how you're, when you're speaking. And Tom said exactly the same thing. Brooks in for Pearson, Christie to move more central, which is, basically what you said. What do you make of that midfield three, Morgan? Like, would you be happy with it?
Yeah, absolutely. I would. I think it was the right decision to drop Brooks for the last game. I think Brooks needs that competition, and I think against Cardiff, from what I saw, I think because it was a nitty-gritty game, I reckon Brooks might have got past maybe a 6-foot defender and then got quite frustrated with himself and got angry and then let himself down, maybe got a head of yellow or whatever. So no, I think that's really good, but I think this is a game where Brooksy can shine, and Christie obviously I thought he had a pretty good game. So yeah, I don't think Christie would need to drop, but I agree with what Tom and Sparky were alluding to. Like, you wouldn't play, I don't think, a Lerma and a Pearson is needed in this game. You can always one for like a Jefferson picks up a booking. Not that he ever does that these days. Well, he hasn't this season. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And then I assume it would be Jaden Anthony on the left hand side with Jay-Z.
Yeah, that's right. So, Jaden Anthony is, very difficult to, displace that. Not particularly because of his own form. I mean, yes, he scored a goal recently and also seems to be popping up with the assists, but more for the combination, John, that he has with Philip Billing and Jordan Zamora. It's really good. And even when he's not 100%, you just know that as part of that sort of triangle of three on the left-hand side, he's actually probably the best placed player for it at the moment.
Yeah, I think what surprised me so much about Jaden Anthony is just how good he is as a passer. Because as far as I'm aware, coming through the youth system, certainly with Arsenal and then obviously with us, he would have been playing as a central striker and scoring plenty of goals as a central striker. And then you kind of expect the player of Anthony's sort of shape and style to be like a dribbler, to be more of the kind of Danjuma style, to want to take his man on and beat him and get a shot off. And obviously, certainly Anthony wants to do that, but he's not really that good at beating a player one-on-one. What he is good at is passing the ball. He's absolutely incredible with the way that he's able to get the ball into exactly the right spot. I think the goal for Solanki that he assisted against QPR, the ball went through the eye of a needle. When you see it from the side, it's amazing how accurate that ball was. And the cross that he put in earlier in that game that Solanki didn't put away, or was that against Barnsley? I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, just as a passer, it just has amazed me. And you're right, his combination with Zamora and Billing is one of the best, if not the best, part of our attack at the moment.
And then up front, Morgan, I mean, what can you say about Dom Solanki? I mean, there are some people sort of starting to compare him to Callum Wilson. I don't think we're quite there yet, but he's certainly showing signs that he's, in all areas, his game's improving, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, including myself, were quite critical of Solanki. But I think he's turning into a mega star. I really, really think what he does for the team pressing is so underrated. People don't. He has so much to his game. Without him, Brooks and Anthony don't get the space, and he doesn't hold the ball up, and we lose the ball. He's very, very good up there, and we have no better at the moment. Yes, I know we got low, but he's just bossing it, and he's always going to get in that team. He's going to be the first name on the team sheet unless he's injured. He's absolutely brilliant. In the last game, I just wanted to dilute Anthony and Christie, the amount, and the centre halves Cahill and Kelly switching the play. It was sensational. Like just how it was going from one out to one win to another. It was really good to see, and if we can do that against someone like Luton today, I reckon we'll call them more than a couple of problems, because I just don't think they'll be up to it. And also, if it is a nitty-gritty game, they have conceded in the last two matches in injury time. So if we can get to 85 minutes and then go and rob them a 1-0 win, we're going to take that all day long. I'm hoping it's not that kind of game, because that gets a bit too squeaky bun time into added time. But if it has to happen that way in the Championship, you have to win ugly. And if we can do that again today, then we have the unbeaten run under Scott Parker continues into another game.
My OCD won't handle the fact that you're up there and I'm down here. So hang on, there we go. Let's sort that. I don't know why, but I just prefer being at the top left. I don't know why. I'm
loving these graphics, by the way.
Clip art has got some use still in the 21st century, I've got to say. Thank you very much, Morgan. Really appreciate that. Go on then, Morgan. Let's end with a prediction for this one. How you think it's going to go?
Because of the type of team Luton are, in terms of the fact that they're probably quite defensive minded and they might be quite hard to play against at the back and maybe break them down in midfield, which is where we tend to play our football out wide and stuff. I reckon we'll go up, and then we'll go and nick another one in the second half. So I'm going to go for 2-0. I'm going to go for Solanki, and I'm going to go for Brooks, because he turns up sometimes in big these kind of games. So yeah.
Morgan, looking forward to it. Hopefully see you later outside. You're going, aren't you, today?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. In about, I don't know, a few hours.
Well, if you want to chat, you know where we'll be, mate, both before and after the game. Looking forward to, and maybe the scenes will be as raucous as what they were away at. What was our last game? Cardiff. Yeah, that was pretty mad. Yeah,
them scenes were pretty good, to be fair.
Absolute bundled. Right, Morgan, thanks very much.
Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.
And also, John, go on then, finish with a prediction for us, mate.
Right. Well, I went with. I've been thinking 3-1 for a little while, but I think 2-0 is also a pretty decent shot as well. I just think our defense looks so solid at the moment, looks so strong that I can't see us conceding more than a goal in any game at the moment. And the way that we're going forward, the way that we're producing, results and goals. Apart from one game, we've scored at least two goals every single match. It's really something the way that we're performing. But Luton are a decent side. No one should underestimate them. They've got a lot of injuries at the moment, but they're 12th in the table at the moment, and they're one of the teams really to look at in terms of those that are upwardly mobile and really improving year on year. So. We're gonna have to be on our game. We lost this tie last season, so keep an eye on this one. It should be good fun.
It should be good fun, John. Thanks very much for joining. See you later on.
No problem. Cheers, Sam.
Cheers. Take care. Thank you very much, and thank you to everyone that's been watching. Do you like this format of doing it in the morning? If you do, smash the like, because we're really not sure. We might make it a regular thing. Of course, we can't do it for away games. But for home ones, maybe it could be a regular thing rather than the Friday night, which is time that people are spending with their families or they're out on the town or something like that. So maybe this is the thing for weekend breakfast. If you do like the idea, press the like. And also, it would be really helpful for us as well if you were to go onto Twitter and retweet our pinned tweet as well to get more people seeing the show before the game and also spreading the word that this could be a regular thing. Hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have enjoyed putting it together. If you want to support the channel, those are the ways to do it. We appreciate everyone who is a legend, and we've updated the Legends Wall at the end now to include everyone that's got involved. All the financial support is truly appreciated. Thank you very much. We really do love bringing this to you, and we love doing all the vlogs as well. You may have caught me earlier actually vlogging whilst I was doing this, because home games, of course, there's not the journey to sort of diarise. There's not Steve Hensman putting on a seatbelt. There's none of that. So we've started early today. So I've showed you some behind the scenes footage of what we do here. That it's so tin pot, it's unbelievable. But we'll also go into the bar beforehand as well. Hopefully catch up with a few of the boys in the 1910, and then of course during the game as well. So if you like what you see, remember to spread the word about Back of the Net. And looking forward to the game today. My prediction, I'm going for a 4-0. I don't even care. See you at the game. About the cherries.